Remember in the noonday, sit in peace, meditate. Stillness takes you farther than you know. A little for your father, a little for your mother, a little for your sister, a little for your brother, a little love for your soul will make you whole. Da, 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 if you walk in power, dedicate an hour for the shower of love. Do it in the evening, you will be receiving the peace that you've been leaving behind. A little for your father, a little for your mother, a little for your sister, a little for your brother, a little love for your soul will make you whole. Oh, be rid of your disguises again. 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 Be rid of your disguises again.
So I left Canada. I needed a break. It's getting kind of weird over there. So I decided to come to a place that I dreamt of years ago, the desert. So years ago, I was in Los Angeles about 4 or 5 years ago, and I was scouting locations for a music video, and I ended up in the desert. But this was at a time where, let me tell you, I was beyond burned out, stressed out. Like, I didn't have the energy, or I didn't even feel like I had the breath in me to take another step. Like, I could say I was probably close to depression, or I probably was, and I just don't want to admit it. And then I looked out far into the distance and I saw a beautiful home, and I said, that would be cool if one day I could afford to rent that and create in there, meditate, reflect, just be out here in the desert. Because to me, isolation like this is a luxury. It's beautiful how we can plant seeds years ago, watch them blossom years later. And I think it's really important we take time to have gratitude and reflect on that process. Because some seeds that we are planting, it could take a decade. But once it manifests, once it comes into fruition, make sure you have that moment to celebrate and to, simply have gratitude. So that's kind of what I'm doing today. I don't know. There's an energy about the desert that just aligns with my spirit. It's almost as if it just grants you space to reflect and decompress. It's an energy.
Hey, from the ground of my head to the sole of my feet, my soul you should keep on Jaja. Hey, Galanga tell them from me now let's go Jah no way. Couldn't let him go no day. I still I in the truth. And so need enough to move. Tell them say me nah let go Jah no way. Couldn't let him go no way. As the last thing I may choose. And so the evil have to move. I see them coming with them guns, them ammunitions. Them up your working, them false religion. And them the kind of thing I spread division. But I don't care, I hold on for my mission. Been giving thanks to the King of all creation. King Selassie, I the ruler of all nations. And with me chalice, me a hold a meditation. Been giving thanks to Jah for life and inspiration. That's why me nah let go Jah no way. Couldn't let him go no day. As Selassie I may choose. And so the Eden have to move. But tell them say me nah let go Jah no way. Couldn't let him go no day. As Selassie I may choose. And so the evil have to move. I beg you watch the kind of food where you want to eat. The bloody meat when you want to choop on out the street. And it can poison your body, I hope you see it. And trust the pharmaceutical companies alone I read. And watch the kind of words them where you speak. Selassie tell me, say the hurt is for the meek. Remember anything you sow or that you reap. So farmer man go until the side. So Rasta can eat. With knowledge but Jah no way. Couldn't let him go no day. As Selassie I will choose. And so the evil have to move. But tell them say we not let go Jah no way. Couldn't let him go no day. As Selassie I will choose. And so the evil have to move. Oh my, bless my soul, oh Jah. Oh no. Oh no. Thanking you for life. See them coming with them guns, them ammunition. Them up your working, them false religion. And them the sort of thing I spread division. But I no care, I hold on for my mission. Giving thanks to the King of all creation. King Selassie, I the ruler of all nations. So with me chalice, me a hold a meditation. And giving thanks to Jah for life and inspiration. That's why me nah let go Jah no way. Couldn't let him go no day. As Selassie I may choose. And so the evil have to move. But tell them say me nah let go Jah no way. Couldn't let him go no day. As Selassie I may choose. And so the evil have to move.
Greetings. You know, say in a them time, yeah, more than ever, we need to encourage one another in the Lord. Think about it. And while you think about it, if you want more people to hear God talk to them in the Jamaican language, click the like button, drop one comment below, and share this video with everybody where you know. And if you not do it yet, you know what the best time, to click the subscribe button and the notification bell too. To make sure, say you don't miss none of what I go on. Right here, so 5 o'clock Jamaica time every morning.
A God Word This, a daily reading from the Jamaican New Testament by ethnodoxologist Joanne Richards Goff.
From Paul's first letter, from verse 13 to verse 24. Keep una eye them open. Turn up strong for when you believe. No afraid of nothing. And go on, keep strong. Make sure say everything where you do, as sake of the love where they in your heart. Now, brother and sister, we don't know about Stephanos and his family. Them are the first set of people in Achaia to believe in a God and get saved. And them do all what they can do to help God people them. So me a beg you, brother and sister, to follow what them people they say. And not just what them say, but what anybody will work with them say too. Me did happy to see Stephanos, Fortunatus, and Achaicus them come. Cause when them there with me, it coming like say a uno there. And they make my heart happy, same like how they make Funa heart happy. So listen good to what people like them have to say. The church them were in Asia send all the Funa, Aquila, Prisca, and the whole of the people them we gather them yard to keep church and send all the Funa in the Lord name. All of the brother and sister them send all the Funa. We have to tell one another all the and do it with love in our heart. Me, Paul, I write down them audio with my own hand. If somebody not love the Lord, I hope say God will judge him and send him for dead. Come, Lord. Come. Me pray, say the Lord Jesus will show no love, even though we don't deserve it. And bless you now. Me love the whole of you, and sake of Jesus Christ, the whole of we are one. I got all this. Thank God. In a them time, yeah, more than ever, me did happy to see Stephanos, Fortunatus, and Achaicus them come. Cause when them there with me, it coming like say a uno there. And they make my heart happy, same like how they make Funa heart happy. So listen good to what people like them have to say. The church them were in Asia send all the Funa, Aquila, Prisca, and the whole of the people them we gather them yard to keep church and send all the Funa in the Lord name. All of the brother and sister them send all the Funa. We have to tell one another all the and do it with love in our heart. Me, Paul, I write down them audio with my own hand. If somebody not love the Lord, I hope say God will judge him and send him for dead. Come, Lord. Come. Me pray, say the Lord Jesus will show no love, even though we don't deserve it. And bless you now. Me love the whole of you, and sake of Jesus Christ, the whole of we are one.
Grand Risings family, Grand Risings family. Welcome.
By the rivers of Babylon, where he sat down.
You ready for the first of Isaiah? Ready and ready.
When he remembers Zion, but the wicked carried us away captivity, required from us a song. How can we sing King Alpha's song in a straight line? Cause the wicked carried us away captivity.
I'm gonna go through the 40.
From us a song. How can we sing King Alpha's song in a straight line? Sing it along. Sing the song of
sisters. Sing the song of being a bad brother. We gonna sing and shout it. We gonna jump and shout it. Yeah. Shout the song of freedom. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart be acceptable in thy sight, override. So let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart be acceptable in thy sight, override. We got to sing it together. We got to shout it together. By the rivers of Babylon, where he sat down, and there he went when he remembers Zion.
Let you put your things on mute.
Cause the wicked carried us away,
Hustle.
require from us a song. How can we sing King Alpha's song in a strange land? Cause the wicked carried us away.
Grand Risings, one and all. Grand Risings.
Greetings, Grand Rising.
I am peaceful. I respect the property of others.
Coming
I
after
affirm
this one, yeah?
that all life is sacred. I give offerings that are genuine. I live in truth. I regard all altars with respect. I speak with sincerity. I consume only my fair share. I offer words of good intent. I relate in peace. I honor animals with reverence. I can be trusted. I care for the earth. I keep my own counsel. I speak positively of others. I remain in balance with my emotions. I am trusted in my relationship. I hold purity in high esteem. I spread joy. I do the best I can. I communicate with compassion. I listen to opposing opinions. I create harmony. I invoke laughter. I am open to love in various forms. I am forgiving. I am kind. I act respectfully of others. I am accepting. I follow my inner guidance. I converse with awareness. I do good. I give blessings. I keep the waters pure. I speak with good intent. I praise the goddess and the god. I am humble. I achieve with integrity. I advance through my own abilities. I embrace the all.
There you go. Yes, Grand Risings, Grand Risings, Grand Risings. And welcome, welcome, our sister Sandra from way on the passage, or part of the passage from the Africas, as she resides in Jamaica for now. Greetings, my sister, greetings.
Greetings, Brother Aston. Greetings, family.
Tell you, what a time we're living in right now.
Mhm.
And it's not that we are run from it, but it could be a little easier. could be a little bit easier right now. For all of those who are interested, we are live on the Facebook, and we are live on the YouTube as well. Galaxy's Grand Risings. Okay, so if you want to come and view us and join in the conversations through the commentary boxes on there, you can do that as well. Come and talk to it. Come and interact with us live. Also, you can contact us through live again on the phone lines on 0203 289 6504. You can come straight into the studio here, and also you can get us on the WhatsApps as you're listening through your devices, through whatever mediums you are using, and you can text as well on that same line on 079 47 479. Oh, you have it, 219. Okay, they got some new fandangos in there. I don't know what happened there. Maybe they were advertising something again yesterday, and they moved on some of the bits and pieces in there. Let me put it onto this dead screen. Yes, there we go. It's a that's a thing here. I know who that is though. I know it is the man who has not 100% vision like me. Anyhow, greetings, my sister. How are you this morning?
Greetings, brother. I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling really good.
That's good. Yes, you're feeling peaceful and balanced right now.
I'm finding the rhythm, I think, is the language that I've been using. I'm working into a new rhythm. I know you mentioned in terms of sometimes when we think about life, when we think about what's happening to us and the stage of life that we're at, we're all going to go through the same stages. The question is, how do we deal with it? How do we approach it?
Exactly.
What do we learn within that journey to ensure we don't travel that road again? But even if we do, we can deal with it in a different mindset.
Absolutely. And you see, and it's one of the things that I've have to observe as well is the language that we use and the emphasis of what we actually put towards our life's journeys. Right now, even as we opened the show this morning here, right, we greeted each other, right? But did we greet each other with the upliftment or of a positivity, or did we put that barrier of let's see where we are? Is there a negativity, right? What was our language? What was the base of our language? And this is the time as we rise in the morning that we clear the path to make it smooth. Yeah. So therefore, how do we ensure that the outcome is going to be positive, even though what we may be engaging in may be of the negative, right? But let's look on the positive. One of the things that I've noticed, well, I can give an example. It's one of the exercises that I use, right? Is that when you wake up in the morning and then you hear that postman come past your door, look at you smiling already. This is one you can use as well. I've got a bag full of them. Don't worry about that. Earlier, when you hear that postman come through the door, are you in anticipation or are you anxious as to what's going to be falling through your door and onto onto your doorstep when they put the letters through the door. Now, some of them may be bills. Some of them may be letters of invitation. In other words, advertising. Right? And then some may be something that is going to actually be beneficial to you as well. And it's how you receive it. So even if you say, okay, then you know what we do the X-ray vision, don't we? By by looking at these letters and saying, oh, I know what that's gonna say, right? So we anticipate the words and everything, and we've already set our mind to receive the message that is within these envelopes already, you know. But if we were to again reset our mind in the positive, so basically you are enjoying, for instance, with bills, you're enjoying a service that is which is complementary to your life. So therefore, it's a pleasure to actually enjoy the rewards of like electricity, gas, water, right? Because if you want to do a comparison with those who are in less, then yes, but you know what? Let's appreciate that we have access to those things, and that we get them more on a more regular basis than not regular, you know. So therefore, you know, our pain for the use of these services can be turned into the positive in appreciation. Yeah. Right? So therefore, you know, it's how we receive it and how we allow it to rest with us, you know. And it's like with many of the services out here, it's a case of that, how do we actually receive it and how do we interact with it? Right, don't let me run too far with my mouth this morning. What you say, my sister? What you say, my sister?
Well, it's interesting, the analogy that you give, because we can choose how we think about that letter. I don't know, in the past it would have been, well, if it's a brown letter, it's coming from some officialdom.
Yeah.
Not what it is, but it's some form of officialdom. But the fact that you, regardless of what the letter is, if you're thinking about it rather than thinking on the negative, which may take you down a road of preempting, and your ego then gets in the way and it starts to imagine all sorts of things, even though you've not even opened the letter, or even once you've opened the letter. If you think about it in terms of, actually, I've received a service. This letter is giving me, I may be paying for something, but I've received the gas. I've received the electricity. I've received the water.
That's right.
I've received the services that the council have charging me for. I can make use of, because I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and we were just talking about the way that in the UK, and they were talking about tax, and I was thinking, I don't actually know what the tax rate is at the moment in the UK. And they currently live in America, and when you pick up anything in America and you do your mental maths, you work out how much you're going to pay, and then you get to the till, and they add the tax on after the event. You often know what the tax is. It's 11%, it's 20%, it's 3%, whatever the case may be. In the UK, they add it on at the time of what you see on the little sticker is what you're going to pay when you get to the till. But then it's still a service that we're receiving. So you can change your mindset from a negative mindset to a positive mindset to say, well, I'm going to enjoy this food, I'm going to enjoy this, or I have enjoyed, or I can access the internet and it's going to be trouble-free, rather than, like you say, thinking about it from a negative standpoint. And the negativity draws you down.
Exactly.
The energy.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that it's a case of part of the process of taking control of your life, right? And not allowing a system to actually take over your outlook and your perspective. Oh, come on now. Come on. Your perspectives of how you see the outcome, right? So what you work on is your intra perspective of how the outcome is going to be, right? And that is what you have set as your parameter of allowing things to come. Yeah. So you're not overwhelmed. You're not going to make yourself get overwhelmed with the amount of bills that seems to be coming and everything else, because then you will say, look, this is what it takes for me to actually live a comfortable life. Right? You can adjust it. You can adjust it over the next months and time in the future if you need to. Right? Or you can be in preparation of these by making a separate account so that you ensure that those bills are covered, and anticipation of like inflation or fluctuation by adding additional funds to the other account, so it doesn't have that impact upon you. You know, when you know that there's going to be a rise, because we seem to be receiving incremental rises, right, through like interest rates, service providers interest, because soon as interest rate go up, it seems like everything go up, but you receive the same. Yeah, but you still receive the same thing, you know. But you know, this is how a lot of us are being impacted at the moment. And yes, if you allow it to overwhelm you, it can bring a form of like depression or suppression of your nature, because obviously your income is not really rising with the inflation, you know. And if you're balancing things now, what happens when they put an extra 5% on top of everything that you're actually laying out, you know? And it does have that impact on there. But let's put it this, as I say, it's how we receive it and how we allow it to be part of our lives as well, you know? So I haven't frozen.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree with you. The same could be said in terms of you're going to speak to someone and you anticipate what they're going to say without listening to what they are saying. And you've worked out a story in your head in terms of what the response will be. You've said the whole story from beginning to end, and the conversation has not yet started.
Yes, exactly.
The same way, that way.
Yeah. Elia. Moving on to another subject briefly or swiftly, in a positive actually. Saturday we attended an event, a community event, the African Sports Day, right? And it was well received, and I received it very well. Even though the time that I went, it was raining. The day started off with a beautiful sunrise and sun was out nicely, and I thought, wow, this is going to be a very nice day. And then by the time I was able to come out my home and get to the venue, which was in Battersea Park, right? That the rain was coming down. The rain was coming down. But obviously, you know, fortunately for me, I the rain was starting when I was leaving home, so I was able to bring appropriate clothing in. Yeah. But even when I was there, the rain subsided, and you know, the events was going on, and you know something, even though the rain was coming down, they still were participating in the rain, you know. And you know what it is very similar to what we're just speaking about, right? That a child a child does not get swayed either way, you know, because I'm sure that there was some kind of thunderstorm, apart from the parent dragging that child into the shade and shelter. I'm sure that child will still be out there doing what they need to do and running and jumping and everything, right? Because they're just not distracted. They're not distracted. Their intention is to participate in what needs to be done. And I'm gonna say, you know, a child or children, they develop at different age stages, and you know, strength and abilities and all that. Boy, being a mature person is very frustrating. Because when you see them young people there and the vigor and stamina that these young people have, it is truly amazing, truly amazing to see the abilities that these young people have. And what I look at as well is that they may be participating in these events, and you know, this was athletics. It was athletics mainly that they were participating in. But even for them to be participating in that event there, I also project the thoughts of life. If they take the same energy and the same focus and the same vigor towards their lives, how beautiful their lives would be. You know, how beautiful would their lives be? And you know, I have to commend all of the organizers, all the participants who were there on the day, right? Visitors from all over, and you know, I'm just so glad that we as a community have these events to go to, and those who do participate in them and attend them, I say, well done. And we need to be doing more of these community events, and we need to be gathering together, because the vibrations, the interreactions, those that I met, those that I've seen and saw again, it was a beautiful, inspirational time that I had there, you know. So yeah. And yeah, so what's going on for you, my sister?
So there's a few things that have been happening for me, and just someone said something, my brother said something recently in terms of the expectations and the outcome. So again, it's almost like you play out a video in terms of your head, in terms of what's going to happen, but the outcome has been different because there's been a different energy, and we have, as adults, changed the vibration. So rather than it being a time of somber, we've done it as a time of celebration, and taken the somber and the celebration and embraced the somber, whereby we've got together and we've taken advantage of where we are, and we've gone out, we've gone to the beaches, we've gone to the rivers, we've got together as a family and we've celebrated life. And we've eaten and we've drank and we've broken bread. We've laughed and we've joked and we've cried. But we've been able to do it all in unison, or collectively, and that energy has managed to uplift us rather than, like I say, it was and it could have been a very somber occasion. So for me, I'm just continuing that on here with the love and the prayers that are surrounding me. And there's other friends and family that are visiting. So yesterday went to the Jerk, what do they call it, festival? Yeah, in Boston. So there's celebrations that are happening up and down in Jamaica, whereby from a community point of view, it puts the community on the map. And Boston, partly in Portland, they always talk about that in terms of Jerk. So when they were advertising it, they were advertising it in terms of anything that you can eat.
Anything and everything.
As long as it's got a pulse, or even without a pulse, with 4 legs, it can be jerked. So we took a spin down there, but none of us were really interested in the artist, and there were a number of artists that were going to be there, but none of us were really interested in the artist. So we looked at the eatery and the food and the various individuals selling on the corner, and for me, the thought just came into the word carnival. Back in the day, where you'd have the various sellers on the street selling water, selling roast corn, selling food of various kinds. So it was a nice atmosphere, nice experience. I could turn around and say, I've been now. Would I need to go again? I probably wouldn't want to go again because
Why?
I'm not really that interested in so much in the artist.
Okay.
And the food world, my mother would have, in the past, my mother would often have said, if you're going to have a roast pork or chicken, jerk pork, jerk chicken, even jerk fish and anything else, there's a way of doing it. And because we don't have the patience, we speed things up.
Okay.
It may look like...
So it's not cook in, it's cook on.
Yeah. Let
me explain that. Is that when they're preparing the foods and everything, marination takes like 48 hours and more for marination of foods, the meats and the vegetables. Yeah. But if you're doing like how these English do it, they make up the sauces, and then they pour it on top and then try to cook it in on top of it. Yeah. So it's a cook on, not a cook in.
Some of them do their own version of the sauces. Some of them are nice, and some of them you think to yourself, you could have taken your time here and done this a little bit differently to get a different outcome. And that's what I'll think in terms of the food wise and the difference in the food. So we were standing there as we do, and then one of the I picked up in terms of the same way if you're getting on a bus anywhere, any form of transport, and you go to the hub, you'll always get someone encouraging you to get on a specific transport, and that person effectively is getting paid. So the more people that they put on the transport, the driver and or the conductor will pay them. And they do the same thing with the food. But the thing that frustrated me is that we're just, as a group, we're standing around working out where we're going to go and eat. And then there was a brother who commented to a sister, and I'd already had it, so I'd already worked out what the play was. So she didn't respond to him. So then he started to cuss her out, and I'm thinking, I don't understand. You wanted her to respond to you, and she was doing something else. She is either tending to a baby or talking to a partner. And because she didn't respond to him, and it's almost like the shame, to take the shame out of his eye, but we weren't, it's almost like there's a greeting, someone did or didn't respond, keep it moving. No, he gets upset and starts cussing her out, and you think to yourself, was that necessary? And then we're standing around making up our mind where to eat, and then someone who encourages you to go in and taste and check out the food, etc., etc., started cussing us because we were standing in front of the doorway. And it's like, I know a Jamaican, if they want to go in there, they're going to make space and walk through us, walk around us. The fact that we're standing in the doorway is not going to stop them from entering. And when I said that to him, he said, yeah, but you're standing in the doorway. I said, yeah, but you guys are Jamaicans. If you guys want to go into this establishment to eat, you're going to go in there. You're not going to stop and say, excuse me, please. You're not going to do that because that's not part of your language.
That's it. That's not part of your ways.
You want something, you're going to go for it. He goes, yeah, but I said, well, you got to learn to speak to people. You want to encourage us to come into your establishment to eat. You got to learn to speak to people.
Yeah.
And it's all again about that thing called communication.
Yeah.
Because later on today, I'm going to be going up with the same crowd. We're going to be going to Bath Fountain.
Okay.
So, and my remembrance of Bath Fountain is that it's a space that if the locals looked after it, everybody could eat. Everybody can eat.
Yeah. I know.
They don't choose to look after it, and then they treat you with disrespect. As in wanting to, if you're at the bottom and you're saying, where is Bath Fountain, all of a sudden you've got an entourage. Once you get to the fountain and you get to the parking and you jump out of your vehicle, you're swarmed like bees. Come, follow me, I'll take you up. And you think to yourself, hang on, just let me breathe. Let me breathe in the essence of where I am, rather than rush me. And then you don't get a chance to enjoy the natural. And it is natural because you're getting hot salty water straight from the river at the same pace as you're getting.
Don't stop at the first one, because there's other pools up there as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get the hot water, but you get the cold water. So you've got your automatics, the sauna and plunge pool all in one space, which is just a natural resource. But then they drag you or carry you or encourage you, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, I will come, but is there somewhere for me to change? No. Is there somewhere for me to change that's clean and comfortable? No. Is there somewhere, if I wanted to go to the bathroom, because bearing in mind I'm by water, is there somewhere for me to go and use the bathroom? No. But you want me to come. I don't have a problem with coming, but you need to ensure then that you move with the times.
Exactly.
And you provide the appropriate facilities to enable us to, as visitors, encourage us to come. because we went to the Blue Lagoon. Sorry, I'm looking for a light here. We went to Blue Lagoon on Thursday. So it's infamous in terms of movies, etc., etc. So they're re-modernizing it. So now, in the past, you used to get the boats that used to be able to come into the lagoon. You could then get on a boat ride that would take you to Navy Island, take you to a private island. You could sit down, laugh and joke, drink to coconut jelly water, etc. So, they've stopped the boats coming in, the speedboats. I understand that because the marine life, the marine life. So, and even if the boats come up there, they're gonna find them, and a lot of them are saying that the guys are saying they're not prepared to do that. But in modernizing that area, you've got a Sandals, which is soon.
So that
hold on. Yes. So that effectively means then that the space is a free space to the locals is now going to become a postage stamp in terms of area that they can walk on freely, and the beach and the natural resource and the beauty is going to be taken up by that said hotel.
Exactly.
Now, the said hotel is going to modernize it and create a beautiful ambience that you're going to need to pay for. But like I said, the locals...
With the locals probably won't be able to afford anyway.
Yeah, they won't be able to afford. They won't be able to afford. And as a tourist, you may be able to afford it, but at what cost? So it's not necessarily the cost is exuberant, but in theory, you want the locals to... Because it was just beautiful just watching the children just rushing off and jumping into the water because it's that deep and that beautiful. And they're not going to get that opportunity in the future at the same rate.
Exactly.
You've got your natural resources, but
you know, like even as you speak of that, you know, we're anticipating that, you know, they won't get access and things like this. The thing is that the government itself needs to address accessibility for the citizens in these places. You know, I know that you know, like for instance, Dunn's River. When I last was there, that they had a local rate and then tourist rate, right? And in some ways, I do agree with that, because obviously they're maintaining the area and everything else, you know. But make it so that, you know, even to say, all right, then there's a free day, a day with that free for the locals, like even if it's like 1 weekend a month, that is free for the locals, you know, like all beaches on Jamaica is free for all the locals, you know, right? Because, you know, them blocking the art of people like that and just saying, no, this is exclusively for the hotels and all them, that foolishness there, which I do not agree with in any way whatsoever. Right. So I would even push it even further to say every other weekend is free. All beaches are free for access by or no restrictions on beaches every other weekend, you know, right? You know, so for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, and you know, but the way all them people do, it's like literally, it's like colonization all over again in many ways, you know, colonialization. Sorry, the words will come. Trust.
Well, you speak about that, and I can see both sides of the proverbial coin. I don't know what the answer is, and I think there is something within the middle in terms of whether or not it's a rate for the locals who can prove that they're locals. So that means in terms of going into Boston and going into the festival itself, there was a local rate for those who live in the area against those of us who are coming from Port Antonio rather than who live in Boston. So I get that. I also understand in terms of there being a local rate if you're going to Dunn's River, and some of the cost of entry into those spaces will ensure then that they reduce the harassment one gets when one is sitting on the beach or in that state. Because the thing is that the Jamaicans don't take kindly, and I mentioned it earlier in terms of the brother saying hi to the sister and she not responding and him cussing her out. They don't take kindly. My reasoning is I don't want a bracelet. I don't want one for my hand. Because I was offered a bracelet and I said, I don't want one. No, thanks, but no thanks. You sure? I'm 100% sure. But you couldn't help a brother. I don't want a bracelet, but you want one, then you can. I showed him what I already had on my wrist. So don't you want one for your ankle? Why am I going to put a bracelet on my ankle?
Exactly.
That's another conversation. But you can put it around your waist. But why would I want to put it around my waist? I don't want one.
You should have told him about the slavery business.
Well, that's what I was going to go down that road, and I thought, you know what, that's a conversation that if you don't get that analogy, then there's no point. We're on the wrong page. We're in the wrong book. We're in the wrong part of the library, according to what you're thinking. So I'm not even going to go there. But that when they do charge, that conversation doesn't have to happen. So that's why I say seeing the good and the bad, the positives and the not so positive. That as an entrepreneur trying to make a way is reduced. So the question is, how does he then make a living whereby he can support himself and or his family? And it's working that out. But then also in terms of the charging, when they charge, the facilities need to be there or thereabouts. There needs to be some form of comfort. There needs to be running water, and recognizing we're in a space where sometimes the water doesn't run so good. So then you buy one of those big black tanks and you put it on top of a building whereby it's filled up when the water's running. So you've got water there constantly. So you can wash off. So we went to Frenchman's Cove and they must have had about 6 taps. Fair enough, all of them weren't working. But the fact they had 6 meant balance of probability that there was enough working at the right time when we came out of the beach. And then they're updating the toilets. But you can understand that it was expensive to get onto. Beautiful beach, but you can understand why they charge what they charge. And it's just being prepared to do that. So it was mainly on Frenchman's Cove. I think from listening to accents, it was mainly individuals who could either afford it if they were locals and or tourists. But a number of the beaches this side of town, as in Portland, east of Jamaica, are they talk about, I think UDC are taking over a number of them, to upgrade them, and in upgrading them, there's an element of charging for the privilege that comes back.
But then again, you see, they're taking over. So it's a private enterprise anyway. So what for whatever reason and everything. But as I say, it's one of those things that is always it's kind of stuck as a claw in my back because like I'm here and I'm thinking to myself that why and how has this happened, over the years, and obviously you know, the emphasis is like tourist trade, and that's one of their main incomes and everything. Instead of like directing the development of the island itself, and the structure, the social structure, and everything that is necessary there, right? But it just seems that, you know, we're only catering for a certain type of people, yeah,
So
and certain life that they're looking at, and it's a sad that is a sad focus, in my opinion, because, you know, we know that there are, throughout the Caribbean, there are so many talented people there, entrepreneurial type people, because, like, you know, from nothing they make something, you know, um, and yes, there is a brain drain even going on as we speak there in Jamaica and the Caribbean, and it's been taken by like China, Europe, right, the Americas, you know. So in other words, they're just taking the cream of the cream there, you know. But it's one of those things, because on last Strong's shows, I was sharing people's experience of like Jamaicans who had settled in Africa, and their discussion was why they chose to go to Africa in preference to returning to Jamaica, you know, and obviously, you know, the pros and cons of why they did that, you know, finance, quality of life, safety, future projection for their children, you know, and all of these things could have easily be facilitated in Jamaica if as Jamaicans they were focused in that way there, you know. One of the things I think that we've all been victims of this as well is family, and their attitude towards those who are, I won't say better off, but in a different position to what they are, you know. So you know, even though well, we can testify to this, the quality of life in comparison, like for instance here in the UK, to what you would have in Jamaica. In Jamaica, even though you may not be as financially well off, but the quality of life can be so much more better.
yeah, quality of life is richer.
Yeah, you know,
and that's just in terms of the energy levels from the sunshine and from the foods in the past more so than now, because they're using a lot of fertilizer, or some of them using a lot more fertilizer. But the quality of life is and can be different. But it does go back down to, and when you were speaking about family and how they treat you, the thought came to my mind was crab in a barrel.
Yes.
I've got a new appreciation for crab in a barrel, in so much that from a family point of view, and it's also from a friend's point of view, sometimes you think to yourself, oh, I've got a great idea, so I'm going to tell my best friend, thinking that they're going to be my number one cheerleader. They become the person who throws the dose of cold water, and you're thinking, hang on a minute, there is no fire. Why are you throwing so much water on this proposal, this idea, this gem, this thought? And part of it is, well, if you can do it, you're showing me up. Because I've got the same opportunities, I've had the same upbringing, etc., yada yada, and I've not taken it. So, right, if I'm not going to take it, and it may be conscious or unconscious, I'm not going to give you the opportunity of taking it. So I'm going to throw the cold water. And sometimes they may be throwing the cold water with love because they don't want you to get hurt or perceive that you'll get hurt as you climb up and climb out. Sometimes they throw the cold water because they don't want to be left behind. So they're hoping that you're going to give them the hand up, but giving them the hand up because they've not got the same mentality as you, they end up pulling you down. So there could be a number of reasons why they do that, but that is one of the reasons. But Tom, like you said, why people choose not to live in the same district where they were born, or if they come out of the area, they may choose to say, rather than coming out of the area full stop, they just go to another country, live in Barbados, live in another one of the Caribbean islands, or go to Africa and live in Ghana or somewhere else.
Just because of pressure from the family, them.
Yeah.
Build
a new community with like-minded people. But it comes back to our initial conversation in terms of you do have opportunities, and everybody, if I think about Bath and think about Bath Fountain, everybody can eat. But because of the mentality of a few, they spoil it for everybody, because it becomes there's only so much anyone can eat. Any plate, you go to eat as much as you like. Back in the day, they'd give you a big plate, then they work, I can give you a small plate. If you get up 6 times, there's only so many times you can get up and fill up that plate.
And then you got to try and balance the same amount of food on a smaller plate.
But you do it. Or you think to yourself, okay, well, I'll go up there and I'm going to have this whole plate of starter, then the next whole plate of the main meal, the next whole plate of some more of the main meal, the next whole plate of the other side of the main meal. And there's only so much you can eat. But we can all, like I say, we can all eat if we've done things differently. But it's a frustration. And like I said, I'm going there today, so it'd be interesting to see if there are any changes. I think.
Well, you see, you're doing exactly what I said in the beginning, right? Yep. You're preempting what's going to happen. So give yourself some room for new.
Yes.
And then come and tell me, tell you. tell you what's going to happen. And so said, no, give yourself room, my sister. I'm going to tell you now. Give yourself room. My last experience of going there was when I was with my mother. Yes, I was with my mother last time I went there. And we toured the island that time, and even going to places that she's never been to before as well. You know? We spent a few days to settle ourselves in the Bath Mountain Spa Hotel. I think that's the main car park there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's usually people will come and park outside the hotel complex, and then so we was there for about 3 days, and then we toured just various hotels around the island, you know, and going to different areas, having a look around and everything else. So I'm very fortunate that I was able to experience that, and absolutely blessed to actually experience that with my mother, you know. So you know, many happy memories there. Elliot, but I would say let's have a positive outlook on our lives. We are here, we breathe in, we breathe out. Our lives are here for us to live, and we should take full advantage of what is happening, and take full advantage of what is to come as well. Right? So it's not everything. We have to make it stick with us, but at the same time, we can also rise and prosper as well, as we always do. Because I'm going to.
That's one of the things that the beauty of being in the space where I'm at, in terms of having that opportunity of just looking at the greenery around me and looking at how that greenery with the elements that we've got, global warming, call it what you want, with or without the rain, everything around me is thriving. As long as if you throw down some ackee seeds in the ground, you may get an ackee tree.
Yeah.
You may get a lime tree. You may. And then
Do
the
you have
lime
the red,
tree.
do you have the red soil where you're there?
Nope, we've got the brown soil. We've got the red soil is St. Elizabeth's, that side of town. But we've got rich soil whereby the ackee tree that is growing in the back of the yard was literally because ackee had been dashed out there and the seed, and it had taken.
Yeah, the seed can catch.
Yeah, and
Good.
we're
That's
now
good.
in the season. The lime tree the same. So everything strives for it, and we'd call them they're not sentient beings, but as human beings we don't strive for it. We often, or we sometimes, take the shortcut, which is called lazyitis, or I can't be bothered, or I'm going to give 70% rather than give 100%. With conditions that we've got, there are more of us that can make more of ourselves, more of our opportunities, and we choose not to because we're happy or contented, or satisfied with our lot. And that may be just the fact that we're happy to complain about our lot rather than do something about it.
At this time, I just like our listeners and viewers to actually appreciate the time that you are putting aside to be with us. So can you just remind us of your local time where you're there?
The local time at the moment is just coming up to 2:30.
2:30
in the morning.
2:30 a.m. Right? You just appreciate what our sister is doing right there, so okay. So 2:30 a.m. My word, well done. Thank you very, very, very much for putting it, making yourself available to us over here. Projects that you're anticipating on doing in the near future. What's your next adventure? Because I know you was in America the other day, and then you come back and you ready for something else now?
I'm at the moment. I'm finding the rhythm, looking at the rhythm. So I am. There are a number of things that I am looking at in terms of projects. So one of them is to support the local school.
Do you have a name?
That would be at the moment I'm going to hold on to the name. But yeah, support the local school, and we're having a conversation with the principal. And more often than not, if you're doing I'm thinking of the word will come to me. If you're supporting the local school, you may do scholarship. I'll use the word scholarship. It's not the word
sponsorship.
Yeah. And I've always thought about it in terms of students who achieve or maintain call it an 8% average in their studies will get the sponsorship. And we was having that conversation, and then my cousin pointed out, why do we always support those who are at the top? Because you may have children and young people who are striving. So they then become those who are the hardest workers. They're the ones who actually are the ones
need support as much as the others. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the support that I'll be providing come September will be looking at those children who can't afford the book and or the appropriate textbooks that they need throughout that year.
Mm-hmm.
And then also then to support the children or children who are the achievers. They're the ones who are they're working, that they've made the biggest stride throughout that year or throughout that academic cycle. So it'd be looking at those who not necessarily at the top of the pile, but those who want to rise to the top of the pile, but may not necessarily get the support, whether they don't get it at home, they don't get it, whatever. But they're the ones that are actually on a daily basis. You could see them busting a gut. So give them encouragement to continue busting a gut, because you know what? They will achieve what they want.
There's many a child or young person that if they don't see or focus on something that's going to benefit them, or they can't see the tangibility of something that is going to benefit them, they just won't go forward with it. I know that when I was in school, there was a trend at the time of failing. Right? Many of us had the ability to do the work, but it was deemed to be, child, why are you making yourself look so good now? Yeah. So that was our thing. Child, right? I don't want to stand out. But you know, if you have a focus, and it's only in the latter part of my schooling that I realized that the failing thing ain't working. Yeah. Hold on just a second. And in doing that, then I realized that, boy, I better just do the best I can. And fortunately, the best that I could at the time was enough to get me into college to do my engineering. Yeah. But imagine if I had focus and I had mentorship and I had that regular support to actually do a life plan, for instance, or a career plan. You know, I know that many of them now do have those facilities. They do have those accessibilities. But so the emphasis here is to have they would have a focus of like, okay, we're looking at putting the foundations or the pieces in the puzzle for you to achieve a certain career path, right? Or to achieve something that you want to achieve in the future. But but these foundation steps are very important for you right now. You know, even to say, like, as you were speaking there as well, to give motivational material for them, so that even the children that you're sponsoring, like once a month, you send them like a personal letter, or or give them access to have conversations with you to ensure that you are keeping up to date with them, to ensure that they are on track to achieve. Yeah. Right. So every little helps.
And that's the thing. It's the having those conversations, doing that encouragement. And yeah, there may be children who don't yet know what they want to do, because these are primary children. These are children who will be and we was going up in a taxi, and there were 3. So we said to the taxi driver, stop, because they're going to the school that we were going up to, Moortown School. And 3 little girls came in. 3? Yeah, 3 little girls came in. So the car was full, and the driver told them not to make a noise. So the oldest one, who I didn't think she was the oldest one at the time, said to the others, they must keep quiet. So the others kept quiet. And because she seemed to be the one who had the sway, I thought, I said, I asked them their ages, and that's how I worked out she was the oldest one. So I said, have you just taken your exams? And she says, yes. I go, how did you do? And she said, she'd done not so bad. I said, why do you say that? She goes, oh, there was one that she didn't get. So I said, so what does that mean? She goes, oh, she's got the opportunity of doing it again. So I said, this time around, you're going to do it a lot better. And she smiled. But it was just engaging. It was just the fact of engaging and talking with them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was about to say exactly the same thing, because when I was there on one occasion, I was traveling on the bus, and this young woman come and sat down, and she's there, and she's got her books in front of her and everything, and you can see that she's nervous. And I said, are you going for examinations now? And she goes, yeah. And I said, well, tell me about the subject. And then she was there talking and everything. And I said to her, you know something? I goes, you know everything already, you know. You know everything already. It's just, you just have to just put it into action now. Right? And then she looked at me like that, and I goes, don't bother keep trying to push more information in your head that you're going to be doubting, you know. I goes, you've just sat here for the last 20 minutes telling me about the subject. You know exactly what you need to do, right? Don't worry, you ain't gonna forget nothing. You're just gonna go in there, relax, and just do what you need to do for the day, right? And then, like, she goes, you know, thank you, sir, thank you, right? And then she just watched. She was just looking out the window, and then as she got off the bus, you can see she was there content, and she put the bag. You could see her put the books into her bag now, and she just waved to me, you know, and she smiled and said, yeah. But you could see she was, from the way how she got onto the bus to the way how she got off the bus was completely different. And it is very important that we, as mature adults, right, ensure that our young people are in a place that we can encourage them, right, but they are strong enough in themselves to carry things forward, to trust more in their abilities, to not bring that doubt, which could bring a brain freeze in some cases, you know. And it does happen. You know. You just have a brain freeze on. Whoa, hold on. You know, you don't even know what one-on-one and one is when you get a brain freeze. You know, and you know, it's happened to me. It's happened to me as well. You know, you're there, and then, like, you know, you're sort of like you're reading 5 questions at the same time and trying to go through the conundrums in your head or the formulas in your head, you know, or all 5 of them at the same time, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. Come on now. You know what I mean? So, you know, let's make the best of it and make the most of it. But we look forward to hearing about that project that you're looking to do there now in a sponsorship. Of those young people there in that school. And I'm sure that if you share the details, that there will be those who are listening as well who will probably participate in that as well.
What rather than, so I wouldn't necessarily say participate per se, but what I would say is that for individuals who wish to reach out to, it may be your local school where you are, It may be a school in terms of where your parents went to school. If you're a third or grandparents went to school, in terms of whether it be Jamaica, Africa's, or the Caribbeans. It may be a local, but what I would say is get involved. When we see the young people on the bus, or we see them on the train, or we see them traveling, not all young people live up to the stereotype that society says is their path. It may be a case of reaching out. It may be a case of becoming a school governor.
Even that.
It may be a case of taking an interest in your local school down the road from you. Even if it's not the one that your child or children or grandchildren currently go to. Taking an interest. Giving back. Bearing in mind you may have gone to that school if it's still open. That's what I would say. Rather than everyone supporting one child, let's support all the children. Let's have a conversation of that presence across the board.
I'm just checking if there's any messages here we got here. Let's wait for the phone to fire up.
Okay.
I think somebody left it uncharged. Whoever was in the studio, or was just playing with my emotions, yeah.
But so that's me, and that's the project. Other than continuing, and I will be finishing off writing the book, because my chapter of the book is currently on Amazon. I'll finish off writing the book and the chapter, and writing the story, and providing the toolkit, and providing videos that go along with that women and or men can listen to, that can help them to
exactly
find their own rhythm and find their path out of situation.
I'm hoping that you'll be able to establish your brand as well over there in Jamaica or the Caribbean, right? Because I know that it's going to be very, very necessary over there as well. So it'll be very good if you expand the brand over there. Yeah. Okay.
Definitely be aiming to do that.
Yes, because when I come, we're gonna set up a little radio station over there for you to deal with as well. Yes, it will be Jamaica Galaxy. All right. So anyhow, we look forward to see what we can do. Anyhow, because it's necessary for us to expand in them ways there too. Because no matter where we're there, let's do what we do and do our best.
Yes.
We have another 10 minutes left of this show this morning. Yeah, and I say, welcome back, my sister, and more strength to you, and balance yourself, and you can get back on track with what you need to do, right? New life, new force for you as well. At this time, I would like to also extend a Earth Strong greetings and blessings, or whatever you want to call it, right, to a sister, and she's actually a teacher, young teacher for a school over here in the Croydon area, right? She's a junior school teacher, and it's a strong today. So I'd like to just play this one for her, Sister Jennifer. There in Croydon, you know. So, Sister Jennifer, bless her strong for you.
Now's the time, it's not too late. There's plenty time to celebrate. Your special day is here at last. Limos booked, you're all dressed up. Your friends are here, the champagne pops. The atmosphere is filled with cheer. We're staying awake, we're raving till the next day. It's your earth and birthday tree. Make sure you get cake, I'll never forget. It's your earth and birthday tree. I gotta say yeah, I gotta say yeah. It's your earth and birthday tree. I gotta say yeah. If it's your birthday, it's your earth and birthday tree. The sun, it creeps inside the room. Shadows move, the wall is used to hold you up as she presses hard. Wallpaper sticks to your back. Your friends, they laugh, you feel so cracked. Now Mr. Ray and his nephews got you. We're staying awake, we're raving till the next day. It's your earth and birthday tree. Make sure you get cake, I'll never forget. It's your earth and birthday tree. So let's make some noise, say yay. I gotta say yay. It's your earth and birthday tree. Let's celebrate. Everybody in the place. It's your earth and birthday tree. The DJ starts to pick things up. He's playing my favorite Buttercup, a tune so smooth you just wanna sway. Cause now's the time, it's not too late. There's plenty time to celebrate. This special day is here at last. We're staying awake, we're raving till the next day. It's your earth and birthday tree. Make sure you get cake, I'll never forget. It's your earth and birthday tree. Let me hear you say yeah. Let me hear you say yeah. It's your earth and birthday tree. Celebrate, celebrate. It's your earth and birthday treat.
There you go. There you go. Right. That's for a sister that I know, and she listens in occasionally when she's not teaching. On the way to school, very appropriately, actually, that we was talking about that, and yeah, it's a Earth Strong this morning today, right? So she's got to be there with all those snotty little children. Well, it's not so, is it? It's the weather's a bit better now, so yeah, and I know that the holidays are coming up. It's coming up very rapidly. The long summer holiday. What? Where the madness begins, because the mother them and the father them go, oh my gosh, when they're going to return back to school, please. You know, and also to all those who are doing homeschooling, unfortunately, you don't get no holiday. You don't get no holiday, right? So anyway, you know, it's still a very important job and works that you are doing, and it's a beautiful, rewarding works that you've done, bringing life and new life, and letting the procreation continue. You know, so I saw it go. Anyhow, so my sister, I'm going to say thank you. You would like to do a summarization before we close out our show to this strong?
Yeah, so for me, it's going to be where we ended, and that's the strive. Let's go for it. Whatever we choose to do today, let's go for it without the negative connotations of I can't. So whatever it is you're thinking about, let's think from a positive. I can, I am, and I can.
Excellent. And I'm going to say, for all those who are listening right now, thank you once again for joining us on the Galaxy Morning Risings. All right, and we wish you all the best throughout the day. Our next DJ will be coming up. Will be Brother Kwame, right? And he'll be joined by Brother Gospel, yeah, and or Cecil, I should say, by joined by our brother Cecil Gospel, right? And you know, he'll be taking us through into the early afternoons this afternoon as well. So until then, let's have a beautiful day. I'm going to play a few tunes. Any requests that you can think of that you want to go? No. You sure? I'm not going to sing it karaoke. You know, I'm not going to sing it. My throat don't work like that in the morning. She just smiling. Huh?
No, I'll leave it to you.
Leave it to me. All right then. And yeah, until then, let's live good. Let's live in peace and harmony, my family. Let's live in peace and harmony.
Ooh, no. Na. Ooh, no. Yeah, na. Ooh, na. Ooh, no. Yeah, ooh, no. Na, ooh, no. Yeah. Gotta get to you for me. Like the air that I breathe, that's how I need you, baby. Much more than you know, just to watch you go by fills me with joy and laughter. You're inside of me. Here we go, you're acting like you don't know that I need you, and God knows that you're on my mind every time. Gotta get you from me. You're the reason why I'm leaving, I made up my mind. Gotta get you from me. You're my reason now. If I get the chance, then I'll never let you go. You see how much I really need you.
We're out.
You're on my
Ciao.
every time. Gotta get you from me. You're the reason why I'm leaving, baby.